We're back at the first annual Path to Indemnity Conference. Please tell people who you are, what you do, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, Randolph, first, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So my name's Chris Cleveland. I'm a public insurance adjuster out of DFW. My firm is United Claims Advocates. I've been a public adjuster now for about 3 years. Before that, I was an independent adjuster. Probably about 65-70% of the claims I did were residential claims for USAA, AllCat, and AMCAT.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked for probably about 20 other carriers and about 10 other firms over the course of those 7 years. I've done flood claims, hail claims, wind claims, tornado claims. Fun part, very first storm I did, got into town, had 50 hail claims in my inbox.
Wow.
And the next day, the tornado hit St. Louis, where I was at, and we got 10 tornado claims as a rookie adjuster.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't miss that.
Yeah, so I switched over to being a public adjuster. I got tired of being a cat adjuster. Got dead tired of it, especially after Hurricane, what was it? I think it was Matthew and then Irma and doing all those. I just got tired. So I enjoy being home and in protecting the policyholders. It's always something new. So it's just what I enjoy doing.
So did you say you were working for the carriers for 7 years?
Yes.
And how long have you been on this side now?
3 years now. I got licensed in March 2018.
Okay. So with that, both of those timelines combined, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you first started?
Which one?
I guess so. All right. So boom. All right. So because I know one thing that we're trying to do is, of course we're here to protect the insured, but we like to cooperate and collaborate with the other side as well. So I guess I asked you at first, as an independent adjuster, what did you know, like right at the end, that you wish you knew in the beginning?
Oh, I wish I would have known, I wish I would have known sooner the bag that was been pulled over everybody's eyes, because I would have made the switch to public adjusting a whole lot sooner. I would have gotten my 2 or 3 years in, learning as much as I could, and then spent the next year probably finding the right mentor for a PA to make that transition. Because by the time I saw the light, and I started seeing the light probably 2014 or 15. I was like, something's not right, But it took me until 17 to really start, getting tired of it. And I'm ready to be done with this, And it just taking that time to do it and figuring out who to work with. Because when you're on that side, did you ever work on that side?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You hear, and you're from Florida,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. All you ever hear is those dark PAs.
The dark side is what they called us.
Yeah. So, and I think it's funny because now, what's the advertising on those storm groups that the Darth Vader of the industry is Badger, who's on the carrier side
with the Badger traps? Yeah.
So, So when you have that's constantly being forced on you, like, oh, that's always the bad side. It's the bad side. They're all bad. They're all bad. They don't know what they're doing. Everything they're doing is ridiculous. It's you automatically, whenever you see one, you're constantly thinking negative before you even talk to them.
Absolutely.
Which is what they want, So took me a long time to come to grips with it, especially like some of my closest friends that were IAs, like, really? You want to be a PA? Are you kidding me? The funny part was a year later.
Eventually they came. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now that you've been a PA for as long as you've been, what do you wish you knew when you first started as a PA?
Wish I would have known to ask a lot more questions about who I was going to go to work with, how they do it, and how much training I was going to get up front.
Got it.
Yeah. So I'm one of those guys that thinks they know everything to begin with. And I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty adaptable. I mean, to be a good IA, you got to be adaptable. So I think I did well for what I was given to work with. But sad thing. So when Cal and Melanie and Sean first did, when they did the the boot camp rodeo, just kind of going around seeing if the boot camp idea was going to work, and they were just doing the one-day little workshops.
The pilot program, yeah.
I did that, June of, what was that, 19, I think, is somewhere around the summer of 19.
Yeah, you're one of the first people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They did one in San Antonio, and I went there, and I was like, holy crap. I learned more about working claims as a PA today than I've learned in the last year working with another PA firm that I was working with. It's like nobody told me any of this stuff. And when you're an IA, they don't want you to know any of that stuff because the way they do it on the carrier side, it's divide and conquer. It's not just divide and conquer on the insured side whenever you can do it. It's divide and conquer everybody that works under you so you have plausible deniability whenever they try to get you for knowing misrepresentations.
Oh yeah, because I remember when I switched over to this side, that's when I found out that as an IA, the initial adjuster, I was just the first level of negotiations. I thought, because I didn't know what happened once I handed it off to my field supervisor or the desk adjuster. But really, I was just the first level of negotiation. All right, this is where we're starting.
Yep.
And it's probably, if this person retains representation, it's probably going to end somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that reminds me, the first time where I really started to see the light, I was working the ice, you remember the first big Arctic, what do they call those? The Arctic plunges that happen sometimes where it's
man, don't make me lie to you. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, it's one of those big Weather Channel, the world's going to fall. The sky's going to fall. So 2014, I think it was, they had 2 huge cold snaps. First, I went to Indiana and Michigan and was working pipe burst and then some collapse and ice dam claims. And then Massachusetts, I think, that area of the Northeast got it really bad, and I ended up being there for 2 or 3 months doing nothing but ice dam claims. And I had this house. I was working for a regional carrier there. I want to say it was Quincy Mutual was the carrier. Local, small-time regional firm. I was working for. The firm was great. One of the best IA firms I had ever worked for. I was lucky to get that gig as an IA. But I had this house that had it was the mid-century modern style, with the support. It's 2 stories, had a balcony on the back that was built through off the structural beams going through the middle of the house.
Got it.
It's about 10 feet deep, 20 feet wide, and the ice dam slipped off and went boom right into it, and cracked and just broke it off on the end. And I'm walking through this house and I don't know how we're going to repair that. And then I'm walking through, I'm like, you know what? I need to take a look at the beam inside the house, the same beam, because it's all open beam. And I'm seeing movement and all these things.
Wow.
I'm like, I need an engineer on this one. And I'm developing my questions. This is the first time I'd really called out an engineer on a claim. I was like, this is structural. I need an engineer.
Absolutely.
Develop my questions. And I sent in my my initial report to the carrier, and we need to get an engineer out here, and this is what I need answered. I need this, 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 and this, so I can develop my scope of repair. Took 45 days before I got anything back. Okay, 45 days. I get the report back. Not a single dang one of my questions that I asked in order to develop my scope of repair was answered. Not a single one, and everything that they did, I called the desk adjusters, when you requested the engineer assignment, did you request that they answer any of these questions? No. We just assign an engineer.
Wow.
And that's all they do. They just, you know what, we've got an assignment, here's the cause of loss, here's what happened, go out there and give your assessment. That's all they do. They don't actually try to answer the questions, because if they're answering the questions, then they have some liability. So it's frustrating.
Do you have a preferred type of client? Is there a type of client where you say, all right, I like working with this persona? Or is this just whoever comes and they need your expertise, you're going to take them on?
That's still in development. I am really comfortable with business clients. So last year when we started our firm, I was working with some partners before, and we just separated. But during COVID, and with my partners, and we still signed up 20 plus million in claims.
Wow.
You know,
That's significant.
Yeah. And it's because it's the comfort level with dealing with the higher end money clients, the ones that most people are afraid to even talk to because they've got so much money on the line. They don't even know what to ask or how to approach them. A lot of people don't see them as people, you know? So I'm comfortable with that. I am a natural sales mind, so I can keep talking. I like to poke and investigate and prod, you know, with people and what their needs and desires are, things like that. So I'm comfortable with that. But from the mindset of protecting the policyholder, you get too caught up in the big money claims, and then you start just thinking about the money. And the business owners aren't the ones that need our help the most of the time. And by the best adjusters out there only wanting, and the best attorneys out there only wanting those kind of clients, it's a detriment to the whole industry, in my opinion. Reason being is, if all your best minds are working the smallest percentage of claims that need help,
Wow.
how many, and those claims, those rarely go to court. It's always, which cases are the ones that you always see making precedent? It's those $10,000, $15,000 claims, right? It's because they had a crappy attorney that should never have taken that to court, and you get a really bad precedent set because of it, right? Attorneys and PAs that have the talent need to be helping those smaller ones, because you know, State Farm's out there, you know that they're acting in a certain way on a large set of claims because they want to see which one of them is going to give them the precedent they want to set and take it all the way to the Texas Supreme Court or whichever state you're in, so they can get what they want. That's what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
We need to have our best minds working as much of these claims as possible, and then, they did this, we're taking it all the way, we got the right client, take it all the way. So
it seems like, because a lot of people strive to get to the clientele base that you already have established naturally, but you see the bigger picture of someone with your skill set even helping on the smaller claims. That's not common. Is there like a personal story, that like a David and Goliath story, that made you think like that, even though you've reached the climax of what a lot of PAs try to get to?
I wouldn't say necessarily a personal story on a David and Goliath issue. It's just seeing the natural progression of, you'll have firms that are, we're going to take this, and then they get nothing but they get bigger and bigger, and then, no, our threshold is 50,000. No, our threshold is 200,000. Our threshold is 500,000, and they're not even going to look at that smaller stuff. And I'm like, I get it. You want to be profitable. You don't want to do more than you have to. I'm the same way. If I got 10 claims a year that were 500 to 5 million, that would be enough for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not really helping. I'm not protecting the policyholders in that way, because that's wasting my talents and what I can do. And I don't want to waste it, because I said it from, maybe I do have a bit of a story. I forgot. I haven't talked about it in so long. So I started out as a roofing salesman. 2010, I think, 2009. And I just got tired of seeing people get jacked around. It's just, okay, your roof will get replaced. Your roof looks the same. Nope, you don't have any damage. I got tired of seeing people get jacked around. Like, you'd have people that truly needed it, and they wouldn't get anything, and it'd be a complete dogfight the whole way. And then you get people that didn't even need it, and it's just completely arbitrary.
Full replace, yeah.
Yeah. So I got tired of that, and that's what made me want to become an independent adjuster. It's like, well, I can do it a heck of a lot better than these guys. I know I can, and maybe I'll help a lot of people along the way. And then it became, now it's a dogfight as an independent adjuster to do the same thing every single year. It gets harder and harder and harder. It's like, gotta make a change. and get over to the other side now.
So it seems like once you reach your limitation, legally, statutory, or whatever, as a contractor, and then you reach your limitation as an IA, and then you reach your limitation as not yet, but people that have your storyline typically become attorneys.
I've thought about it. I have, but I'm not a fan of traditional schooling. So I don't know. I've thought about it because I've got the veteran benefits and stuff that I could utilize to easily go back to school and probably take care of all of it. It's nice. In Texas, you've got not only your GI Bill, you've also got, as a Texas veteran, you get the Hazelwood Grant Act that they have. It's pretty much all of your schooling could be taken care of, even all the way through post-secondary. So I could probably end up spending no more than $10,000 of my own money, and
probably not even that. If you became the in-house PA of an attorney, I'm pretty sure they would compensate you for what you're used to getting, and then supplement the So thank you so much. One last question before I let you go. Most people know what the word path means, and most people in our industry know what indemnity means. When you hear the phrase path to indemnity, which is the name of this conference, what does it mean to you? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Process. One word, it's process. One process, one way of doing it, take it that way every single time. The only way that, and take this with a grain of salt, my mindset, I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Okay.
So if you want to make the biggest difference to the most amount of people, we're going to have to find a way for more and more of us as firms, as PAs, to do things almost exactly the same way, in the same process that works all the way through, just like what Cal and Sean have been trying to teach. And if we're all doing it that way, we're going to be able to maximize helping more and more people. Just like the IA firms, they're getting so much volume and they're spitting so much out because they do it one way. They make their adjusters do it one way. We've got to be able to find a way to do it one way together while doing it the right way.
Absolutely. I like cut through that path, through that wooded jungle. Because once again, you can set up camp anywhere along this path. That's what it sounds like you're saying, but let's get this path.
Yep.
And then go from there. Man, please, once again, tell people who you are and how they can get in touch with you.
My name is Chris Cleveland, public insurance adjuster with United Claims Advocates. You can reach me at chris@ucapatx.com, or my office number is 817-984-8448.
UCAPATX. That rolled off your tongue, man. Easy. All right, man. Thank you again for talking with me.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it, Ray.
Absolutely. That was perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, man.